So today is the day when we finally feature some PUMA running shoes on the channel, and in particular it is their very popular neutral daily trainer, the Velocity NITRO 3. Now you guys have been telling me for a while to try out some PUMA shoes, so in today's video we are going to be taking these out for their first run, but I'll let you into a little secret. I popped them on indoors just to check the sizing and they feel extremely comfortable underfoot, so I'm looking forward to testing these out today. So let's dive into the video and tell you all about the new PUMA Velocity NITRO 3. Welcome back folks, and thanks for joining us for another video. Hope you are all fit and well out there in YouTube world. So we have already uploaded a couple of first impressions videos this year featuring trail running shoes, but these are going to be the first road running shoe in 2024 to get the Run4Adventure treatment. So let's dive in, give you a few stats about the new Velocity NITRO 3. So they retail here in the UK for a pretty reasonable £110 or 130 US dollars. Weight wise, they tip the scales at 290 grams in my size, a UK 9.5. We've got a good helping of Puma's Nitro foam in that midsole with an 8mm heel offset. Flipping them over, you can see that outsole is clad in PUMA grip rubber, and I went for this sort of flow yellow colorway. However, there is several different color options available. Breaking down the construction in a bit more detail, starting at the top with the upper first, and the Velocity NITRO 3 uses this nice lightweight engineered mesh fabric in the construction. It's got lots of small perforations worked all the way around it, just to help that sort of hot air build up escape from the shoe, keeping it nice and breathable. The tongue design is pretty thin, but PUMA have worked in this sort of zone of padding where the laces pull down tight, so giving you a little bit of added comfort across the top of your foot. And I'm happy to say that that tongue is also gusseted inside the upper. There's quite a lot of padding around that ankle collar and in the heel, and you know, sometimes in the past when I've run in shoes that do have a lot of padding around the ankle, I have had slippage issues, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that performs out on today's run. The upper's got some structural overlays wrapping around the heel, working around those lace eyelets, and PUMA have worked their power tape into the instep of that upper. They claim that's there to give it a bit more structure, but also to offer the foot a little bit more support to stop any sort of in-shoe slippage. And then finishing up, we've got a slight sort of flared heel design and a pretty standard looking lace system. As far as the midsole construction goes, we've got PUMA's nitrogen infused PEBA based foam, hence the name Nitro foam. Maybe not the most imaginative name in the world, but again, trying them on indoors, it felt very comfortable underfoot. Also nice and bouncy, like it's going to return a lot of energy, but I guess we'll find that out when we get running in them. And then last but not least, flipping them over, you can see that we get a really good helping of PUMA grip rubber on that outsole, and I've heard good things about this rubber. It's supposed to be nice and sticky and offer good levels of grip. And then work down the center of that midsole is this kind of flex groove, and it does seem to add a bit of flexibility to the shoe. So there you have it folks, the first PUMA running shoe to feature on the channel, their new Velocity NITRO 3. But now it is the fun bit, so I'm off to get my running kit on, I'm going to grab the GoPros, get these on my feet, and we are bringing you along on their first run. Okay, we are a couple of miles down already, and the weather can't make its mind up today. When I left the home, it looked overcast, it looked like we're going to have some rain, so I put a jacket on, and now the sun's come out and it's pretty warm. But first thing we've got to talk about is the fit of the shoe. So I would say the Velocity NITRO 3 is true to size, so the UK 9.5 is fitting really good on length. Feels like it's giving me a real secure hug around the midfoot, and even though that ankle collar and heel cup is well padded, feels like I'm well locked down in the heel as well. And that thin tongue with that zonal padding is nice and comfortable across the top of my foot. The one thing I would say about the fit is I'm surprised how narrow the Velocity NITRO 3 is in the toe box, and that's coming from someone with a narrow foot width. So fits my foot really well, like a glove, but if you did have any width to your forefoot, I think you really would struggle when it comes to root room in the toe box. I'm not sure if Puma do a width fit in the Velocity Nitro 3. I'll have to check that out when I get home. But like I say, for a narrow foot, fits really well. It feels really comfortable straight out the box. So we're going to try and get a good 10 miles in the legs today. So we'll see how we get on, but let's get running. Okay, I shouldn't have said anything. Attempted fate. Here comes the rain, and it is looking miserable up ahead. I think it's time to get wet. We're gonna put the camera away. Oh dear, I'm gonna get my new shoes wet and muddy. Never mind. Okay, so we are just coming up to 8 miles and just starting to rain again, although we have been pretty lucky with the weather. Had one heavy downpour and then a couple of light little sprinklings, so I thought the rain was going to be setting for the whole run. As far as the shoe goes, I haven't really got anything negative to say, so the upper feels very comfortable. I tied it down at home, came out, felt really well locked down around the midfoot, and I still feel really well locked down around the midfoot, so I haven't had to stop and re-tie the laces. And like I say, no issues at all, no slippage in the upper, no rubbing, no hot spots, nothing. And we're gonna get 10 miles in the shoe today, straight out of the box, so that's super positive. I'm also super happy with how the body is feeling. So I actually went and had a sports massage on Monday, so I think that's really helping, but the legs feel strong, they feel nice and loose, and that's gonna be after 10 miles of the hard stuff. So we are definitely getting out on the trails for tomorrow's run, that's for sure. But let's get back to the studio and let's wrap this video up. Right, we are back after a great first run in the Puma shoes, and I can totally see now why you guys have been telling me to test out some of their shoes. Unfortunately, they're looking a little bit grubby now because it was pretty wet and quite muddy out there on the roads today, but for me, it really does seem to be one of those shoes you can just take straight out of the box, lace it up and get running in it and have no issues at all. It kind of felt like I'd already done a couple of months running in the shoe and bedded it in, and I love it when a shoe feels like that, but it doesn't always happen, so it's really been a positive experience today. I've already mentioned the fit and how well it worked for my foot shape. I felt super secure, really dialed in and very comfortable in every way. That nitro foam in the midsole also performed well. However, I don't think it was as bouncy as I thought it was going to be before the run. Still very comfortable underfoot though, and obviously this is the first outing in the Velocity Nitro 3, so maybe that midsole will soften up as I bed the shoes in. It also seemed to have a really nice sort of contoured shape to that midsole, so I felt like I was getting really good support in my instep. And as far as all the feedback from you guys about this outsole, it's correct. You know, it was very greasy, very wet and very muddy out there on the run, and this Puma grip rubber gave me great levels of grip, and I felt very confident when it came to my footing. Like I mentioned, out on the run, the only real negative I see, and it's not actually a negative for me, it's a positive, and that is the width in the toe box. This really is a narrow running shoe, and you can see that toe is narrow and it pinches in quite early as well, and if it was a little bit narrower than this, I think even I would have struggled with my foot shape. I actually popped online when I got home, and unfortunately they don't offer the Velocity Nitro 3 in a width fit, so if you do feel that you've got a bit of width to your foot shape, or you just like a lot of sort of wiggle room and space in the toe box of your running shoes, then maybe the Velocity Nitro 3 isn't the shoe for you. So wrapping up, I think PUMA have produced a really well-constructed, fun-to-run-in, comfortable, neutral daily trainer. And I also think when you compare these to some of the shoes that they're competing against from other brands like Saucony's Rise 17, the Brooks Ghost, the Gel Cumulus from ASICS, and the Mizuno Wave Rider 27, it really is an affordable running shoe option. Yet, it doesn't look or perform like a cheaper price point shoe. Obviously, this is just my first impressions after today's initial run, and it's going to be really interesting to see how the shoes hold up as I put more miles in them. But for sure, I'm definitely going to be testing out some of their other models this year. And in fact, it'd be great to get some suggestions from you guys. So what other shoes should I be testing from the PUMA lineup? Get in the comments below and let us know. Really hope you've enjoyed today's first impressions video and you found it helpful. Don't forget, if you have, to like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already, because it really is a big help to the channel and greatly appreciated. I've been working really hard on this year's epic Arc of Attrition race day video. I can't believe the amount of footage we got on race day. It's taken me forever to go through it, but I'm finally getting there, so keep your eyes peeled. That video will be coming to the channel very soon. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting. It really is appreciated by myself and Liga. We'll be back on the channel soon, and as always, stay safe and keep on running. These are going to be the first road running shoe in 2024 to get the Run4Adventure treatment. So let's dive you in. The tongue design is pretty thin, but PUMA have worked in this little sort of zone of padding where those laces are going to pull down tight, giving your foot a little bit more comfort. And I'm